You saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. It's time for one of the most ridiculous stretches of trains I've ever seen on the NS Chicago line. The first trip in this video was, incredibly ironically, on Friday the 13th, March 13th, 2026 to be exact. The train that I was here to catch on this day was NS 098, which had one of the most ridiculous consists I've ever seen. It was a power move, only 2 engines. NS 1068, the Erie Heritage Unit, leading a broken down Amtrak Charger. What? The engine was being towed back to Chicago for repairs after, I believe, a grade crossing incident. Sadly, it came after dark, but that's why I have Bright Bentley. Because of Bright Bentley, I thought it would be better to go to the rolling Prairie crossing because that meant I could stand closer to the trains, and that meant the light would light up more of the train, and that meant the shots would be better. It didn't take very long before that assumption was proved correct when NS-17V appeared, and it had a really good consist too, with a -9 trailing and a CP Gevo behind that. After that pass, it only took a few minutes before we saw more headlights. In both directions simultaneously. I wasn't worried that we would get blocked because 098 was on the close track, but I was hopeful that we would get an awesome meet. And we did. I got an okay shot of 098, I'm really just glad I saw it at all considering how rare of a move it was. Wish it was in daylight though. And did end up meeting with 16M, which made for a really cool shot as 098 left. After that, we failed to beat 098 at the depot because we had to wait for 16N to clear the crossing before we could get onto the highway. Disappointing. When we got there, we realized that it had passed 3 minutes ago thanks to a Heritage Units report, and then my aunt's car decided to have engine trouble right as we were about to leave. And by the time it was resolved, we saw a westbound headlight, and I'm very glad that my aunt's car did struggle like that because the westbound headlight was 23G with a -9 liter. Exactly 10 days later, on March 23rd, my dad was driving through New Carlisle and stumbled across 2 train-related things. First, he saw this rail mover at the New Carlisle grain elevator, and then he got stopped by NSB09 with its duo of thoroughbred GP60s at a crossing. As always, thanks to him for taking this footage for me. On March 27th, I wasn't planning to go railfanning. Until Central Kansas Railfan notified me that NS880 had an executive Mac trailing? Oh my god! I think my single-word reaction in the comments does justice to the absolute elation I felt in that moment. I was so excited, I didn't even have time to type a full YouTube response, and I literally went screaming around the house and squirming around on the floor like a baby because I was so excited. Man, I love being a former. Anyways, I have seen an executive Mac before, but it was before I got my camcorder, so I needed to see this. So I went to the depot, and it didn't take too long. Haha, jokes on you, it was actually a half-hour wait. I was expecting it to come way earlier, whatever, haha. Yeah, before it finally arrived. And sadly, the golden sunlight glare kind of ruined the shot because it covered up the executive Mac. Yay. The video shot was not the best, but at least I got this awesome photo. With the fact that BNSF is retiring and scrapping the Executive Max actively right now, I'm sure this will be the last one I see, and if it isn't, future me is going to be very fortunate. Oh, and also NS606 jump scared us while we were leaving. For the final trip of this video, we have April 3rd. A trip that I didn't think was going to be too special, but oh boy was I wrong. The train I was here for on this day was NS265 with a -9 liter. I just really wanted to go railfanning on this day after not doing it for a while, so I just watched the cams until something good showed up, and the -9 liter was something good, so I figured I'd go catch it. We headed to the depot, and almost as soon as I got there, LaPorte Railfan appeared. As I've mentioned in previous videos, this guy has a mythical aura surrounding him because he's so good at tracking trains that he only ever shows up to Railfan when there's a special unit coming. So if you encounter him trackside, something good is coming. When I told him that I was here for the -9 liter, he was absolutely appalled because he started railfanning in the era before -9s are rare. But either way, the unit he was here to catch was NS1800, which is, 8100. I'm leaving this error in the video because I can't stop saying 1800 instead of 8100. The nickel plate heritage unit was trailing on NSB09, which is a local. Now this train keeps its power for a long time, and so although I knew 8100 would be on it, I decided I would catch it at a different time when it was leading. But hey, I'm going to take a heritage unit when it shows up randomly. Who wouldn't? After that, it wasn't too long before we saw the headlights of a westbound approaching. I was hoping it would be 265, but when it got closer, I saw that it was a manifest. And even worse, it was a C6M duo, and even worse, it was elephant style. Normally I like elephant style if the trailing unit is something good, but if it's C6Ms only, it can at least be back-to-back. Come on, Norfolk Southern. And whatever, they don't care. I don't know why I'm complaining about this. The one good part about it, though, was that it was 37E, which is a train symbol I've never seen before, so I guess that's something. After more talking to LaPorte Railfan to pass the time, it wasn't long before 265 appeared in the distance with the -9 leader. But as it got closer, we heard a horn coming in the opposite direction. And I'm sure you can guess where this is going. I was absolutely devastated because that meant the NS-9 would get blocked. But thankfully, 28X was going really fast, and it was really short. So, instead of getting blocked, I got this awesome perfect meet, which is to this day my favorite shot I've ever gotten of an NS-9. We would have left after that, but the signal changed to restricting almost immediately, so we knew another train was coming. That train was NS-33G with a boring C6M in the lead, but a nice ace and BNSF GEVO serving as 4 in power in third. Also, why are there intermodals on this train? I've never seen that before. Weird. I got a really cool low down shot through some of the dead flowers that are at the depot, one of my favorite shots I've gotten in a while. And thus marks the end of this video, but not necessarily the end of this string of ridiculous catches on the Ennis-Chicago line. Norfolk Southern, please keep it up, that would be greatly appreciated. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to catch those units while you can, especially the Executive Max, and I will see you in the next video.